Hello, I am Pan. Welcome to my channel. Let me start by explaining. I have been wanting to do like a Stardew playthrough for quite some time now. I keep seeing the 100 days of Stardew, 200 days of Stardew, those videos, and I kind of wanted to do them, but I keep starting new farms and then forgetting that I was supposed to record, and I'm far too lazy to go back and restart. Since I actually just started this farm like last week. So I figured I haven't actually made it all that far. So I think I'm just going to start the playthrough from the start of fall. I know it says fall 6, but I'm recording this intro a little bit later. I had actually recorded another intro, but I totally forgot to unmute my mic. So, you know, professionals. Anyway, I am gonna be doing like just a 100 days or anything. I'm just gonna play the game. We're gonna see how far we can get. We'll just make it a little series. I think the ultimate goal for me is to reach perfection. I've never reached perfection in this game before, so I think it'd be really cool if I could get that done. I think I know some of like the requirements. I know like the general requirements for it, but we can figure it out as we go. I will also talk a little bit about the mods I have installed. They are not like game changing, it's just little like quality of life stuff, just to make it a little bit of a nicer experience for me. I'm a very forgetful person, so I would never check the travelling cart, I would never check the TV for like luck or Queen of Sauce if I didn't have UI info suite on. So it shows me up here like the luck for the day, it'll show me when I need to check the TV and when the travelling cart's here. It also tells me if it's going to be raining the next day, and it tells me people's birthdays. The birthdays one, that's not so much of a problem right now. I think friendship wise, we're gonna wait until we complete the community centre, and then I'll start working on friendships with people. We also have, I still can't remember the name of it, but there's a mod that shows you what fish are available. It does change with the seasons and the time of day and the weather, that kind of thing. So that's really handy just to have. I also have NPC map locations, so we can see where everyone is. And it tells us. Oh, actually, I didn't even realise it told us what time the shop was open till. Cool. Okay. And I do also have seasonal outfits on for the NPCs, just because I think it's really cute to see them walking around in different outfits. So our farm, we have our little sprinkler area down here. You will notice that when we start the game, this will be a little bit different because obviously we started right at the end of summer. So this was still blueberries, but we'll go over that in the video. We have our cat, who I have called Soup. Let's not talk about it. We have our little fish pond and our lightning rods. We have the bat cave, which has another plum in it, I believe. Cool. We have a little tree farm over here. I have a feeling this might change though. I might replant this. I don't know yet. We've also got our little animal pen down here. Please ignore the flooring. I made an awful mistake. You will see that in the video. The barn has been upgraded once, so we do have a bigger barn. I would like to work on getting a bigger coop in the next video. But we do have one of each chicken, one of each cow. The cows don't matter so much, but a tip for anyone who hasn't played before, if you're getting chickens, get one of each colour, because brown chickens lay brown eggs, white chickens lay white eggs, and they do both count towards your shipping achievements. So you will notice we are on a basic standard farm. I particularly like the standard farm. I think it's just a nice wide open space. You can really do a lot as far as decorations go, because you really only have this pond and the pond down there that are in the way. I think the other farm that I like is the hilltop farm, but I do that one quite a lot, so I figured, well, we'll go for the basic one, the standard farm, and then we can decorate it how we want. We don't have to worry about space too much. So yeah, I like this farm. So we do have remix bundles on. I will quickly show you our bundles. Mostly this one. This is why we have sturgeon at the minute, because sturgeon are one of those fish. They only produce roe. I think they only produce roe. So we got them just to make it a little bit easier. Especially the ones we hit 10 sturgeon. I think they produce 2 roe at a time, which will make this a bit quicker, but I'm just remembering we only have 5 sturgeon in total, so we need 5 more. I don't know if I can fish any more before the end of the year, so that might stump us on getting like a year 1 completion, but it's fine. We have the usual fall crops, and then some rare crops, which was a bit of a silly mistake on my part because I had in my head that I could just these seeds are like super easy to come by, especially the sweet gemberry because she sells them in the cart quite a lot. So I had in my head like it was fine, I could just get a sweet gemberry, chuck it in a greenhouse, and I can grow it whenever I need to. But it takes all season to grow, and it's this bundle that unlocks the greenhouse. So I did scramble to find a sweet gemberry and get that planted at the beginning of this month. We only have one bundle left for the foraging bundle, the winter foraging bundle, so that's good. We've got obviously the regular fish tank. The only one that was different is the quality fish. We just need a gold walleye and we should be golden for the rest of the month, the rest of the year. We have this engineer's bundle as well, so we're just waiting on iridium ore. I'm kind of hoping I can just crack that out of one of our geodes. So fingers crossed for that. Obviously the vault, that's probably going to be the last one that I do. It's usually the last one that I do because I have no need for the bus until after all the bundles are done anyway. Let's ignore the bulletin board because we don't talk about the bulletin board. I hate it. Partners, husbands, wives. I still haven't decided if I want to go for Harvey because Harvey I absolutely love. I know a lot of people have things to say about Harvey. I like Harvey. I think it's a really nice romance. He's a really cute husband. I like it. So I did have in my head originally that I wanted to marry Harvey in this playthrough, but then I remembered Penny. Nobody ever really talks about Penny. I don't think I've ever seen anyone in any of these videos marry Penny. That's like I'm not saying nobody ever has. If I've probably just not come across the right creator that's done it, but I feel like she kind of just gets forgotten about. I've never married Penny, and I kind of want to, so I'm gonna have to make up my mind about that one. And I think that's all of the intro stuff that we really need to discuss. So why don't we just get into the video? So on day 1, we checked the Queen of Sobs, and we got our recipe for bread. Then I got excited because I received the mail about the Moonlight Jellies that evening, which is like my favourite event. Spoiler alert, we forgot to go. But it's fine. We'll move on. So I grabbed all the gold out of the furnace and said hello to Soup for the day. I collected up all of the batteries from the lightning rods and headed into the back cave to collect our spice berry. Then I did some chores for the day, so I said hello to the chickens, collected our eggs and things. I threw one of the eggs into the mayonnaise maker. I had to keep one of the eggs because we needed a fried egg for the chef's bundle. Then I went and said hello to the cows and got our milk for the day, chucked them into the cheese press. And then I headed home to make that fried egg that we talked about. I decided here to throw some quartz into the furnaces because we were going to need some new sprinklers for fall. So I had in my head that I was going to rearrange the blueberry area, which wasn't going to be blueberries anymore, and sort out the quality sprinklers, just because they're better. After that, headed down to the travelling cart. I didn't think she was going to have anything. I was actually going to leave without anything, and then I remembered the rare seed that we needed for the bundle. So I decided to pick that up and that I would plant it the next day. Although in saying that, I don't think I actually planted it the next day. I figured because we had good luck for the day, I was going to head up to the mines, so I ran into the community centre first and handed in our fried egg, and then I headed straight up to the mines. I think for now I'm just focusing on trying to hit the bottom like as quickly as possible. So we're just trying to work our way through and find those stairs and get there. However, I did hit a monster floor and I panicked at finding 2 slimes. We did hit floor 108, but I did kind of come a bit too close to dying for my comfort, and I didn't have any food left at this point, so I think I just decided to go home and call it quits there. So I just ran home, collected the quartz from our furnace, and then jumped into bed. So for the first day of fall, I decided to go out and remove our old sprinklers. I chopped down all the old crops as well and then retilled the grounds to chuck in the new sprinklers, leaving just a little bit of room around it to decorate. I wasn't super happy with the placement of the scarecrow here either. I did try putting it on either side, but there was going to be like one square at each end that it wasn't going to hit, and I would have rioted if a crow had come and taken that. So I just decided to chuck him in the middle and just leave him there for now. Once I was done doing all that, I ran up to Robin's to get our first barn upgrade that you saw at the beginning of the video. So after that we headed down to Pierre's to buy our new fall crops, but I made the mistake here of not doing the math properly, so I got 8 pumpkins to put around one sprinkler. And then I figured the rest of our sprinklers could be cranberries. But because the cranberries was right above the wheat, for some reason my brain read that the cranberries were only 10 gold rather than the wheat, so I just bought a bunch of them and totally forgot that I was supposed to leave enough to buy one of each of the other crops that we needed for the bundles. I think I kind of left a bit defeated, and then on the way home I remembered that I had blueberries saved up in my fridge, so we went back and grabbed some blueberries, and then we took those to Pierre's to sell those so that we could get the rest of what we needed. Except I once again forgot that I was supposed to be doing that, and I bought more cranberries, so I had to sell off a couple of the cranberry seeds just to buy a couple other things. So we didn't get a yam seed today, but I knew that I could come back and get that the next day. So we ran home, planted and watered our new crops. I threw a plum into the preserve jar for the jelly. I knew that our Stardew were going to ask for jelly at some point, so I figured it was better to throw that in now. And then we just headed to bed. We woke up on fall 2nd to both rain and bad luck, and there was also a message to say that the spreading of weeds or something had caused damage to the farm, so I was a little bit concerned that the walls from my pen were going to be broken down, but I went out to have a look and I honestly couldn't find what it was talking about, so I just ignored it for the rest of the day. I tidied up some of the weeds, like the wood and the stone and stuff that had respawned the day before, just so that it wasn't going to get too out of hand with the spreading of them. After that, I went and did my usual chores, slaughter our animals, threw stuff into the compressors, and then I went and planted the rest of the crops. I decided to head back over to Pierre's to collect the yam seed that we didn't get the day before, and on the way into town we unlocked the special orders board. So for anyone who doesn't know, special orders, it works pretty much the same way as the help wanted board, except you get the option between two people have a quest each, you get to pick which one you want to do, and it usually gives you quite a while to get them done. So we picked up Linus's quest to fish up some trash from the waters around town. But because we picked that up, I immediately forgot about the yam plan, so I just decided randomly to go and forage on the beach instead. On our way back into town, though, I finally remembered the yam plan. I went back into the store to buy it, and then immediately ran home to plant it so that I wouldn't forget again. After we planted that, I decided to finish tidying up around the farm. That's when I realised what the message from this morning was talking about. So some of the weeds had spread and knocked down one of my lightning rods. So I went back towards the house, I threw some iron into the furnaces for more sprinklers later, shipped off some of the stuff that I'd collected throughout the day, and I replaced that lightning rod. I also checked on the sturgeon and they did in fact want the jelly, so I was quite glad that I'd put that in the other day. It was at that point that I decided to go and fish in the secret wood for wood skip. I didn't need it for the bundle that you usually need it for, but to hit perfection, I do need to catch one of every fish. So I figured, well, we'll go and get the wood skip while we can. And by the way, can I ask, since when were catfish that difficult to catch? I don't remember them being that hard. I always thought the sturgeon was like the worst for me. Once I caught that wood skip, we headed home. I remembered to plant our sweet gemberry. And then my notes just say that I did furnacey things, shipped, bed. So I'm assuming I swapped out some furnace things, shipped off whatever I'd collected, and then we headed to bed for the evening. So for fall 3, I placed some more of our sprinklers, and then we had a quest to get amaranth for Marnie, so I figured, well, we'll go and collect amaranth seed and we'll pick up some more cranberries. I ran into town, waited very patiently outside Pierre's shop, and then was brutally reminded that it was a Wednesday, and Pierre doesn't open on Wednesdays. So, we went back home. It was at that point I decided to run up to Robin's to see what recipes she had for sale. So on the way up, I picked up a mushroom and a hazelnut that I needed for the bundle still. And then once I reached Robin's, I remembered that I had actually already collected a few of the recipes that she sold, but she still had some of the braziers, so I decided to pick up those while I was there. Again, for anyone who doesn't know, Robin only sells one of these recipes a day, but the way you get around that is you just click out of the menu and then go back in again, and she should be selling a new one every time you go back into the shop menu. I don't particularly need them all right now, so it was a little bit of a waste of money, but at the same time I would need them later on for perfection anyway, so it wasn't such a loss. On the way home, I handed in the last 2 things that we needed for the fall foraging bundle, and we got some fall seeds. I wasn't totally sure what to do with the rest of my day here, but I think at that point I remembered that I hadn't actually been in to see any of my animals yet, so we went and worked on some chores there. Did the usual eggs, cheese, that kind of thing. And then we ran to the bat cave, collected the plums that I would need for the foragers bundle later, and then I decided to fish for a little while for Linus's quest. I don't know why, but I collected a couple bits of trash and then I randomly decided to decorate the farm a little bit. I wanted to put down some wood flooring in the animal pen, and I went for that kind of the straw wood floor. Worst mistake I've made. So horrible. It's honestly disgusting. I don't know why I decided to start decorating at 8:40 p.m. on a Wednesday in the first place, but to use that flooring, oh, I hated it. I really didn't like it. But I figured I would leave it, I would see what it looked like during the day, so we left it, I went, put all my stuff away, and we just went to bed. Fall 4th was actually a good luck day, so I figured once I'd done all my animal chores and stuff, I would head up to the mines and try and get a little bit further. I had obviously during the night forgotten about what I had done to my animal pen, and I was rudely reminded as soon as I got there. Absolutely hated the wooden floor in that light, so we're gonna have to change that at some point. I did my animal chores here. I milked the cows, and then for some reason I took the milk pail over to a chicken and was reminded that no, you cannot milk chickens. As I was running around the pen, I was kind of offended by the floor again, so I decided to randomly just tear some of it up. Still hating it, but all of the distractions meant that I actually forgot to go into the coop to sort out the eggs in there. The jelly was finally ready, so I threw that into our fish pond. I added more sturgeon to the pond and then headed into town to go to Pierre's to buy the amaranth and the cranberries that I couldn't get the day before, and then I ran straight up to the mines. Our good luck day, it came through for us today. I went into the mine, killed one of the monsters, and was immediately rewarded with a prismatic shard. So in my head I was like, yeah, I'm not getting any luckier than that, let's just leave. We're not getting anything else. And to be honest, I had actually forgotten to lift my pickaxe, so I couldn't go anywhere anyway. After all that, I booked it straight back home, put my shard away in a chest, and decided that since we weren't going to go mining for the rest of the day, I would just take my unopened geodes to Clint and get them opened up and see if we could get anything else from our good luck. So I picked up all of the geodes and I ran straight to Clint's. I got there, I was gonna open my first geode, and then I realised I had no money. So I figured, well, yeah, I was right in saying that all of our luck had been used up on that one prismatic shard, so I just went home, planted the rest of the seeds, and then finished off Linus's trash request, and then we just headed to bed. So for fall 5, I didn't really have too much planned for the day since it was an unlucky day, but I did have a look at the Fisher's bundle, the one where I needed roe and aged roe, and I figured to make more aged roe I was going to need more preserve jars. So to do that, I discovered that you need 8 coal to make 1 jar, so I was running pretty low on coal for this. So I figured, well, once we were done doing everything else for the day, we'll head up to the mine and I'll start farming for some coal. Not realising that I had only 2 slots for that bundle, I had already put squid ink into the bundle, so I actually only really needed one of the roe or the aged roe. Well, I think I need like a few of each, but I didn't actually need to do the aged roe. I could just get roe and put that in, so we'll remember that for later. So I went and sorted out all my animal chores, doing the milk. I remembered to do the eggs today, and then I decided to go and hand in the trash to finish off Linus's request. Once I'd done that, I then remembered that the cart was here today, so I figured I'd go down and see what she had for us before going to the mines, and she actually had a walleye that I used to finish off one of the fish bundles. I did remember to bring my pickaxe with me today, so we headed into the mines and started farming dust spirits for coal. I wasn't really finding much coal though, so I kinda decided I would go home and chop some wood down on the way there since I was running a little bit low on wood. Got back to the farm and noticed that my wine was ready, so I chucked that in the shipping bin. I think I'd put it in for a specific reason, but I couldn't remember what the reason was, so I figured, well, we'll throw it in there and then at least I know that I shipped at least 1 wine to get that off the list that we needed for perfection. After that, I just used whatever energy I had left to go and chop up some of that bad flooring that we still hate, and once I ran out of energy, I just went to bed for the day. And that, friends, concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did enjoy what you saw, please, please, please go and like and subscribe and all that other cool stuff. I do plan on making this, as I said before, a series, so hopefully there'll be more of these very soon. Knowing me, my brain's probably going to hyperfixate on this, so they're probably going to upload fairly quickly. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to promise like a schedule or anything right now. We'll just see how well this does. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being here, and I hope to see you again. Bye bye!